Hi guys, so today I am bringing you that second haul that I was talking about, the collector's mentality haul, in which I got a little bit carried away post-Christmas. I mean, I don't normally buy that many books, which is why you don't see so many hauls on my channel, but I do around Christmas time go a little crazy because I get a lot of gift cards, and that kind of induced me to buy a lot of books. So the first one I'm going to talk about I don't have yet, but I bought it yesterday and I was like so excited that it came back in stock because I've actually been waiting for this book for over a year, and that is the VMC edition of My Cousin Rachel, which is by Daphne du Maurier, and it will complete my Daphne du Maurier collection. A lot of people recommended this every time I mention Daphne du Maurier or Rebecca. They said that they really loved My Cousin Rachel, so I wanted them all to be the same edition, obviously. So yeah, I ordered that the other day. So it's not here yet, but if you have been waiting for it to come back in stock, it's in stock, and I literally got the email at like 6 o'clock in the morning and jumped out of bed, ordered it, and then went back to bed because it was my day off, so I was able to sleep in. So the first two books I'm going to talk about aren't really like collecting ones so much like as the other ones are. I just ordered these on Christmas Eve and like as a little like Christmas present to myself because I knew I wasn't getting books for my mom. And like we'd open our gifts that night and I knew I wasn't really getting books for Christmas, so I kind of felt, you know, why not order some for myself. So the first one is There Once Lived a Woman Who Tried to Kill Her Neighbor's Baby, Scary Fairy Tales. And I've mentioned this a couple times on my channel, but I did order this Christmas Eve, so I'm including this in this haul, and people have told me to break this down, so I'm going to attempt this last name. Petrushevskaya. Guessing I'm kind of close, maybe? Russian names are always really hard for me. I saw this on Jean's channel and wanted it. I want all of these. I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love it. So yeah, I got that. And then I also ordered Elizabeth Jenkins' The Tortoise and the Hare. I have read an Elizabeth Jenkins work before. I read Harriet by her, which is apparently a lot more depressing than The Tortoise and the Hare. Mercedes really loved this book, so I was kind of like, I'll get a VMC edition for myself for Christmas. Why not? They're absolutely stunning. I love these editions. So yeah, I'm not too mad at myself about that. So next up, sorry, I'm gonna set those down because it's getting a little heavy on my lap and crowded. I decided I wanted to finish off my Nancy Mitford series. I've had Love in a Cold Climate and The Pursuit of Love. I've read both of those. I actually read Love in a Cold Climate this month, so you guys will be hearing about that in my reviews later on. And it turns out a lot of the Nancy Mitfords are out of stock, and this kind of like chain reaction happened because I went onto Amazon Marketplace and bought them for really cheap, which is part of the problem of this, and I got The Blessing, Wigs on the Green, and Don't Tell Alfred. Don't Tell Alfred is a companion novel to both Love in a Cold Climate and The Pursuit of Love, and I thought, oh, I'll finish these off. These aren't in the exact condition. Like the spines are a little bit, they've got some ridging on them, and they're not like, I don't mind Nancy Mitford. I like Nancy Mitford. I think she's really entertaining. I don't think her works are particularly great. I generally give them around 3 stars. So I think once I'm done reading these, I'm probably gonna get rid of them, but for now I have all the pretty little editions. But it turns out Penguin is actually re-releasing these all with beautiful like watercolor editions, which I saw the other day, and I was like, if I like Nancy Mitford more, I'd go for those ones, but I already have these. And I think like these were like, with shipping, like $7 each, so they weren't that bad. And I also bought with that order The Easter Parade by Richard Yates, which I'm not happy with the quality of this. I am slightly scarred from like buying used online because I'm so picky about my books, but it's not bad, but it's definitely not how I would keep my books after having read them. Like the spine's quite creased and like the pages are yellowed, but I have heard really good things about it, and I think it was like 1 cent and then shipping, so I picked it up, and I'm not too upset about that. The next set of books is 4 out of 5 of a series, and these are still in stock. And I saw that these on Instagram, and I absolutely fell in love. And these are the Oscar Wilde Penguin editions. So yeah, so I have the picture of Dorian Gray. These look really similar to the Nancy Mitford ones and to the John Wyndham ones. I kind of like these like individual authors all published in a similar style. So yeah, so I have the picture of Dorian Gray. This one, which I didn't realize what it was, it's Nothing Except My Genius. And it's basically just quotes from Oscar Wilde. It's really tiny. And it's just like, if I'd known that I would have skipped this one, but I think I bought it used, so it's not too big of a deal. And then I have The Canterville Ghost, The Happy Prince, and Other Stories, which I absolutely love this cover. They're not great, like they're just plain on the back, but the covers are just absolutely stunning. And the last one I have is The Ballad of Reading Gaol and Other Poems. This unfortunately has a nasty little sticker on the front, which I have yet to try and take off. A little leery of that. But yeah, there's one more in these that I need, and then I've got the complete set. And I just like these kinds of sets. So yeah, I saw those on Instagram and immediately like pounced. I was like, Oscar Wilde, love Oscar Wilde, buy all the Oscar Wilde. So yeah, that went a little bit crazy. And then, in typical fashion, I'm talking to Ange and Yamini, and we're talking about like Charles Dickens, because we're thinking about reading The Bleak House for next month, so spoiler for my TBR. And we were talking about the Penguin English Library editions and how much we love them. And then, of course, Ange's like, yeah, and a lot of them are selling out, and like one of them's going for like $200 used. And I was like, buy all of the Charles Dickens. So, surprise, surprise, the next set of books are all Charles Dickens, all Penguin English Library. And I just kind of had this panicked moment where I was like, get all of the things! And now I only need like 4 of them. I had quite a few already, like I had like 5 of them already, so it's not that bad. And I have one of them ordered, but it's back ordered, so I'm really, really, really hoping it's gonna come in from Amazon. And yeah, I just ordered a lot. I still need to get Oliver Twist as well, because I don't own that one yet, but it's readily in stock, so I'm not panicking about that one. But, oh, and these are heavy. He writes such big works. So the first one is The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which is absolutely beautiful. I love this cover. It's probably one of my favorite ones. And yeah, this is one of his later works, and it's unfinished, so I'm curious to see how this will turn out. I probably won't read this one for a while, because it is unfinished, and there are more prominent works of his that I should get through first. I also have Great Expectations, which I have read. This just happened to be available at my local bookstore, and my friend was working, so I got them to buy it for me with their discount, so it was quite cheap. So I don't feel too bad about that. And then I got Little Dorrit, which I really want to read. This is not one of my favorite colors. It's kind of got like a monogram on the front, and it says DNF, which to me is do not finish. It did not finish, and I'm just like, Little Dorrit, what are you doing? But it's a big chunker, and I really want to get through the BBC miniseries because it has Russell Tovey in it and Matthew McFadyen, and I forget who the girl is, but I love Russell Tovey, so I really want to watch it. So it's just one of those things that I will eventually get through at some point, but it's a chunker. It's a chunker. Another one of my favorite designs is Hard Times. This is in the papery editions. Most of these I got in the rubbery editions, so I was really lucky. There's only a couple in the papery editions, which I'm okay with. Like, I'm not... The more I get them, the less angry I am, and I kind of understand why they moved away from the rubbery editions now. Because I've seen some pictures, like especially if you live in a humid climate, this like cover starts to peel away, which is not good. So I think that's why they switched to the papery editions. And they're still beautifully designed. I like the feel of the rubbery editions, but you know, so Hard Times, I'll probably get to this year. This is one of the ones that I've wanted to get to. It's also a lot shorter than some of them. I also got Bleak House, surprise, surprise. I'm planning on reading this next month, so there you go. This is a doorstop of a novel, so it's, yeah, I'm definitely working my way through some big books. And then, oh, the last 3. So I have the really slim A Christmas Carol, which it just contains A Christmas Carol, which I've already read and written papers on for university. So yeah, it was quite slim, and it was really cheap. I think because it's such a slim one, they didn't charge nearly as much for it. So I picked that up, and then I also got David Copperfield, which they have just released. Oh, and who's the narrator? I'm blanking on this. There's a new audiobook that just came out, and the narrator is, oh, Thorin Oakenshield. What's his name? Richard Armitage. Richard Armitage narrates David Copperfield. Sorry, little brain fart there, because I was thinking Alan Rickman, and I'm like, no, he can't have done that. He's dead now, and that breaks my heart. Though he does narrate, if you like Alan Rickman, The Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy, and it's rather fantastic. So little plug for that there. But there is a new one with Richard Armitage for David Copperfield, which I kind of want to, you know, re-sign up for Audible. I have so many, I don't listen to audiobooks very often, simply because I'd listen to them a lot when I'm putting this down because it's really heavy. I listened to them a lot when I commuted, simply because I'd have like 2 hours on a train at a time, so I'd listen to audiobooks. But when I'm not commuting, I don't really have time to listen to audiobooks. Like, I'd rather just read the book. So yeah, I do want to check this out because Richard Armitage sounds rather fantastic for David Copperfield. But I will probably do a combination like I did with The Return of the Native, and when I have time I'll listen to the audiobook, and when I don't have time, and like when I don't have circumstances fitting an audiobook, I'll just read the book. And then the last one is another one of my favorite covers because it has some of the best designs for these, and that is Dombey and Son. This is absolutely beautiful. It's got the pink. I kind of wish the pink was on the side as opposed to the orange, but it's got this great like bright pink color on it. So yeah, I bought a lot of Dickens because I got a little panicked that they were selling out. I still need Oliver Twist. It's not Edwin Drood, but it's Barnaby Rudge, which I have ordered, but it's backstock, so I'm really hoping they don't just cancel my order. And then I need Nicholas Nickleby and Our Mutual Friend, and then I've got the complete set. Party times! But Our Mutual Friend is the one that's selling for like $200, and Nicholas Nickleby is selling for like $40. So unless we'll see. I might get it at some point. I might cave and buy it, but as of right now, I'm like, no. Restrain yourself. I mean, and I did just buy My Cousin Rachel, which was like really exciting. So those are some books that my collector's mentality kind of took over for me. Like, everybody's like, oh, you have such nice like collections of books, and I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm a collector at heart. Like, I have this need to have everything in the same style and the same, like, all grouped together. I was talking with some friends about like how we organized our bookshelves, and I was like, yeah, I've got them by like type. So like all my black spines are together, all my cloth bounds are together, all my drop caps, and it's because I buy in like bulk of certain types of books. But yeah, it's collector's mentality, man. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It happens, and it will negatively impact your shopping habits. But yeah, so those are some books that I bought. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys ever get collector's mentality and you're like, I need all of the things. Like, the panic I felt when I heard that you couldn't get all of the Charles Dickens ones unless you spent a lot of money was just like, because I'd already started some of my collection in it and I just needed them all. So it happens. It takes over your brain. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.